6 o'clock, we're going to call the May 10th council meeting to order. Would you call the roll, please?
Williams?
Yes.
Hay?
Yes.
Miller?
Yes.
Briggs?
Yes.
Shivers?
Yes.
First item is approval of minutes of the April 26th work and then the regular session both.
I move to approve the minutes. Second.
Williams?
Yes.
Hay?
Oh, abstain, sorry.
Yes.
Miller?
Yes.
Briggs?
Yes.
Shivers?
Yes.
Number 4, new business A, Bill 2021-31, a resolution authorizing the city manager to execute agreement with the Simmons Stable Preservation Fund Incorporated and the Mexico Area Chamber of Commerce for requested funds for the Mexico tourism tax. Mr. Schlegel.
Yes, Your Honor, we did receive these two requests for tourism tax dollars for marketing the community. The Tourism Commission has met, and to cover their recommendations, Roger Haynes.
Good evening, Council. The Mexico Tourism Commission did meet via Zoom on Wednesday, May 4th, and as part of that meeting, they reviewed two applications for funding. The first one was Simmons Stables Restoration Society for their 2021 International Saddlebred Hall of Fame ceremony, which will be held on Saturday, June 26th. The amount requested is $1,000. The Commission recommends $710. The $710 does pay for newspaper and magazine advertisements, and what was excluded was custom-made invitations and associated postage, which didn't really meet the criteria for funding. Next, the Mexico Area Chamber of Commerce is looking at an app called the Eat, Shop, Play app, and that is by a company called Armstrong Software, and the amount requested for the startup of this app is $5,000. The Commission recommended funding of $5,000. And we do have with us this evening not only the Executive Director of the Chamber of Commerce, but also one of the Tourism Commission members that is familiar with this app from her review and investigation, and she'd be glad to answer any questions that the council might have, and then I'd be glad to answer questions also.
Questions?
My only concern, I think the app's a great idea. I don't have any problem with the idea of the app. My concern is that we're funding the entire thing from the city and all the citizens, and we're having an outside organization by itself run it completely. So how do you go to other organizations outside the community? Maybe they want to do that. Are we going to, what is the criteria? Why did we decide that this was fine? And very rarely do we fund anything like this completely. And, what is the criteria going to be to get involved? Do you have to be, is the chamber going to have preference for chamber members? Because this tax money is coming from the entire community, not just the chamber. And we're funding the whole thing, so just concerned what we're doing here and what this opens up going forward.
I'd like to question just a little bit. You said it's coming from all the taxpayers of Mexico. I thought this was coming from the tourism fund.
It is.
Which is developed by people who stay here.
Correct.
Yeah, correct. So it's really from the people staying in our hotels. It's really not from our taxpayers. And I'm not...
True.
Yeah.
No, that's a fair point.
And but isn't our connection or the way that we have our collaboration with the Mexico Chamber is the Chamber does do a lot, and we've sort of, in the past, sort of placed some of the things that we're doing with, let's say, tourism, with getting people to Mexico. We've sort of partnered with other things that I've seen over the years with the Chamber to do exactly what this money is going for. Because we said that we really couldn't, we didn't have the staff in the city to do such, if I'm not mistaken.
We have partnered with the chamber in the past, and we paid them already, I think, $10,000 this year, partnering with them, something like that. My concern is we're funding the whole entire thing, and then what if the Elks, per se, wants to do an app? for the whole city, or any other organization wants to do an app. So where do we draw that line? I just,
They would have to take it to the tourism board. And they'd have to look to see if it meets the criteria.
What specifically happens? So walk me through it. We get the app, everything. I get it on my phone, so on and so forth. What has other cities experienced with it? What other chambers experienced with it? I mean, kind of walk me through it. Joe Schmo coming into Mexico, and I got the app there, and I guess I want to play, eat, and stay, or whatever.
Well, go ahead, Danny.
Would you like me to answer those questions, or I don't know if they're representing tourism?
Sure, you can, and then I could follow up with any add-ons from that point.
Okay, so this app, the whole idea of the app began from a conversation with Village Spur Association. This would be an app for the entire community of Mexico. It would not just be a chamber situation, but we would manage the app and the building of the app. What it would entail is that anyone that has a business license would have a listing on this app. Their listing could be as simple as a location, a picture of their business, phone number, and detailed services, or it could do a whole lot of other things. What it does for each individual business is up to that business, so everybody is treated equally. So if McDonald's wanted to run a special on cheeseburgers, McDonald's could go in with their special password on the back end of this app and put, we have cheeseburgers today for $1. Or if there is a special event in the community and they want to share their event schedule, any of those, there's just all kinds of features that are very simple to use. The $5,000 gets us an app, the app built, and the training so that we can share with you as a business how you might benefit from your listing and the special things that you can do with it. We could run this as something to sell to advertisers and try to cover the cost that way. But if we do it this way, everybody is entitled to take advantage of the app. And then there's advertising on the front side of it. We wouldn't sell that advertising. Instead, we would use that to promote any event in Mexico that have applied for a tourism grant or any other requested events that organizations might have. The chamber would cover the expense to get the promotion of the app out and about the community, but we would all use our Facebook pages and websites to encourage people to download the app. The merchants are prepared to do show us your app type promotions so that people will, be more inclined to download the app and then to, visit their particular listings. It can be included in all of the material that the chamber sends out with our demographics and community information. It would be included in all of our marketing materials and just be a big benefit for all of our businesses, but also a really big benefit to our consumers. I have visited with several people that have used the app and who have built it, but Roger also made some calls and talked to a chamber in another community, and I think was super enthusiastic when he finished that conversation because they had just really found great benefit from having the app.
So can businesses embed things into the app, like their menus and stuff like that?
Yes, yes. I mean, we can do everything from ball tournaments. The place I thought that we would really have a terrific reach would be with the Missouri Military Academy and their parents. The parents of those cadets could download that app and do business with any business in Mexico, with their smartphone. I mean, they already spend a lot of money in the community having things delivered and that that sort of thing. So, they would have access to what was going on in our whole community just with an app on their phone. So I think it would be a real benefit to them, a huge benefit to Miss Missouri, a great benefit to VSA. Walk back in time, it just goes on and on and on. The uses that we would get from this one, app that everybody could have access to.
And how will the businesses get their training on how they can upload the information? Because if I heard you correctly, anyone with a business license will get a password or a passcode to go into their...
We will, and this will be a jump from our CNI because we thought we would base it on, their city business license. If they have a business license to participate, it's not a chamber membership thing. We would get their initial listing, and then we will set up a couple initial general meetings where if people want to come learn about it, they can. But then we'll just, if they don't make those meetings and we have a new business in town or someone that decides to take advantage of it, and we can't just help them with, produce material that give instructions, we will just meet with them specifically.
The commission felt like this was going to help everybody. Right now, when we fund something through tourism funding, when they advertise, they have to list down there that basically this was supported with the tourism tax of the City of Mexico. Well, we would also put on there the QR code, and when someone's seeing that, they can download that with Android or Apple, and then they'll be able to see where's places to eat, what events are going on at that time. Maybe something about our historical museum, about our parks. So it's really, they call it the eat, shop, play, but their hopes is it's really eat, shop, play, and stay. So the commission, they said, we did not do Missouri Life this year, which we typically, we budgeted $13,000 for. And when they saw this app, they said, well, this is very responsive and may have a better reach than even the magazine itself, and it was certainly worth a try.
Is this a yearly fee?
Yes.
Yes. The first year where we applied to you all, and if you cover it, that's terrific. After we get more familiar with the app and we're used to using it, I think we'll better be able to determine if it's something that you want the chamber to take over and us to try to sell advertising on the front end or something to manage it. We could consider it, or we could consider getting partners, like in BSA and maybe Parks and Rec, people that utilize it the most. But really, if it fits within the tourism budget, it seems like it makes most sense in my mind that we would just try to make this a service and everyone, have the same ability to use it and access it without, putting it under 2 or 3 organizations that control most of the content. I feel like the appeal is when it's broad and you can get all your information in one place and it's not specifically set to just my members or just BSA members, or it's, an app that's mostly good if you're a sports person or an outdoors person and, you are going to be utilizing the park system or, a student at the academy or whatever.
Can professional services like dentists and veterinarians and those sort of things be on that as a too?
Civic organizations could be on it if we choose to. Anybody that has a business license, which would be I assume that our dentists would have a business license. Our hospitals, all of the organizations and businesses would be able to use it.
Sounds good.
I think about in particular, I was thinking about the All-American Hero Parade that we had when the Clydesdales were here and stuff. How cool it would have been to be able to communicate in real time, the rain delay and, just keep people posted. So it's going to be, I think, really a great way to communicate and keep people up to date and, everybody know what's happening and just a central location for events and activities in the community too.
But, I hear people sometimes that come to town and say, where can I find this or that, or, so they could go to the app and then find those services and...
Right, and those QR codes that will take you to the app can be, we'll print those on business cards and we'll print them on, posters, or not posters, but, cards that can be kept at cash registers at stores and restaurants and store windows, and, we can put that everywhere, so it's something, and it's a free app, so it just makes good sense. If, even if somebody calls and they want to visit, you can send them an email with a link to that, to the app store, so that they can download the app.
Sounds good.
I move for first reading of bill number 2021-31.
Second.
Williams,
Yes.
Hay,
Yes.
Miller,
Yes.
Briggs,
Yes.
Shivers,
Yes.
Bill number 2021-31, a resolution authorizing the city manager to execute agreements with the Simmons Stables Preservation Fund Incorporated and the Mexico Area Chamber of Commerce for requested funding from the Mexico tourism tax. I move for passage of bill number 2021-31.
Second.
Williams,
Yes.
Hay,
Yes.
Miller,
Yes.
Briggs,
Yes.
Shivers,
Yes.
Item B, Bill Number 2021-32, a resolution authorizing the city manager to sign contract documents with Spike Construction for the 2021 Industrial Rail Spur Maintenance Project. Mr. Slagle.
Yes, Your Honor, this seems to be an annual deal anymore with maintenance on the industrial spur. And we had to do some more work, and we took bids that we had budgeted for, and to cover the bids and the details, Russell.
Good evening. As Bruce mentioned, we did advertise for bids after the track was assessed and reviewed, that there was some needs there. We advertised locally and in trade publication online. We received 3 bids back. The lowest bid was Spike Construction from here in Mexico. The 2020-21 budget does allow $20,000 in that budget, and an emergency repair was completed earlier this year for $9,626. The additional funds needed for this repair project, if they were needed, will be available through budgeted costs not incurred in the Lakeview property due to the sale of that property. Staff recommends council proceed with reading by title only and passage of the attached resolution authorizing the city manager to sign contract documents with Spike Construction for 2021 industrial rail spur maintenance. And Spike chose not to change their bid. They'd already had it in, so they chose not to change it. That's why the addendum box is not checked here.
Did they do the emergency repair?
They did.
Was it satisfactory?
Yes.
They've done work for the city before on this rail, and it's, their work's always been acceptable.
I mean, the only user that we have on it services Zero Copper, and if Ozark Valley sees an issue with it, they'll let us know, and then if it's something that's really an emergency, we'll address it then.
Pleasure of the board.
I move for a first reading of bill number 2021-32.
Second.
Williams,
Yes.
Hay,
Yes.
Miller,
Yes.
Briggs,
Yes.
Shivers,
Yes.
Bill number 2021-32, a resolution authorizing the city manager to sign contract documents with Spike Construction for the 2021 Industrial Rail Spur Maintenance Project. I move for passage.
Second.
Williams,
Yes.
Hay,
Yes.
Miller,
Yes.
Briggs,
Yes.
Shivers,
Yes.
Other business, let's pay the claims.
Move to pay the bills.
Second.
Williams,
Yes.
Hay,
Yes.
Miller,
Yes.
Briggs,
Yes.
Shivers,
Yes.
Item 6A, council comments. We'll start with you, Mr. Steve.
Nothing really this week. School year's winding down, and we'll be real close to the next meeting we have. So I think only a couple days left. And I like the rain. I want a few more sunny days in between, but I'm okay with a little bit of rain. Nothing for me this week. Too exciting.
Mr. Williams.
Couple things. I wasn't here for the flag issue, but I would concur with the rest of the council that in light of everything, I don't think there's anything for us to move forward on at this point. Also, one question. I didn't see the fees for the pool. What did we decide on that? I saw that came up when I was...
I can get with you after we get to run through all of it with you.
Okay.
How about that?
And then lastly, on the app, and Dana left, I appreciate Dana's information. That's why I just shut up, because I feel like that was a fair thing to say, that all business licensed people will have access to it. That was my concern, was I was like, okay, is this just going to be a chamber issue? Because that's not really fair to everybody, you know, the chamber and the city, but she put all those fears to rest, so I think it's an amazing
That's what he's talking about.
thing to do, and much better than the Missouri Life. Everybody knows I was not a fan of Missouri Life. So.
Mrs. Briggs?
I'm just excited about the opening of the pool, and that's about all I really have to say.
Sures.
Yeah, I got to go see the water in it and everything on Friday. I was really impressed and excited. Was telling my PT people about the developmental aspects of it and the things that we'll be able to offer to all of our constituents and surrounding areas. So I'm really excited about that. I know yesterday was Mother's Day, so happy Mother's Day, belated Mother's Day to everyone. Miss Vicki, I think you're the only one, and Miss Marcy, I think, we're present tonight. So hope y'all enjoyed your day, and that's about all I have to say.
Mr. Schlegel?
I have nothing this time, Your Honor.
Well, the only thing I have to say, and you all hit it all, I went and looked at the pool, and it's full, and it looked nice.
Keep forgetting to...
And I looked at the parking lot, and it looks really nice. I looked at it while they were working on it, and I thought, well, but it's really,
It's nice.
really up to snuff. Looks good. At this time, we'll take public comments. If you'd like to make a public comment, please come to the podium, state your name and address, and try to hold it to 3 minutes. Seeing no public people present, I ask for adjournment.
I move we adjourn.
Second.
Williams?
Yes.
Hay?
Yes.
Miller?
Yes?
Briggs? Yes. Chambers?
Yes.